Alright, what's up YouTube? We're back with another Magic the Gathering Brawl video here on the Cutlass Board Games channel because with the release of the Final Fantasy set, we've gotten a bunch of new toys to play with, including Thrasios and Tymna the Weaver, now legal in Brawl, which is kind of crazy, and because they have the part mechanic, we can play them both. So Tymna and Thrasios is actually like some of the really high-level competitive CEDH, but Thrasios' value mostly comes from you can potentially draw your entire deck if you make infinite mana, but we're not making infinite mana, we're just playing 4-color good stuff. And let's talk about some of the good stuff. We've got Esper Sentinel, Mother of Runes, Light, Path, Swords, some counter magic, all of the 1 mana counter spells, and Trackhand Trainer, which is a really interesting arena only card because it basically says that we get to play 2 copies of Training Grounds in the deck, and Thrasios' ability, which just costs 4 colorless, means that we can potentially get that down to costing 1, tap, pay 1, draw a card, with both Training Grounds in play. Because it can't reduce it to less than 1 mana. If it got to 0, we would win the game and draw our entire deck. And Thassa's Oracle is a legal card in the format. And Tainted Pact is a card that's on Arena, but banned in this format. I don't think there's any other of the sorceries that draw your entire deck. So, unfortunately, we're not playing a lot of the stuff that is signatory of the TNT deck, but we're playing a lot of good stuff. We've got a couple of ramp creatures, DRS. We've got our you can't cast spells in our turn. We've got our counter spells. We've got our Cyclonic Rift, some card draw. I'm playing Prof's Eidetic Memory because there is quite a bit of opportunity for card draw in this deck. It can potentially create some beat sticks, but also no maximum hand size isn't terrible. This is another great arena-only card. It basically says draw a not land in every upkeep. That simplified pretty much. I have Cryptolith right to try and set up some combos. I don't know that it's super great. Maybe it'll get a cut. But in theory, it's there to help turn a lot of things into the ability to have, that Thrasios activation. Jet Collector, which is also a great card. It basically is a small creature that can reanimate other creatures and also makes a Mox Jet. We have Weather the Storm. We're playing 2 cards with Storm on them because we're playing Bolas' Citadel. And Weather the Storm in Bolas' Citadel, it's a really hard word to say, lets us keep going, keep digging. Dovin's Veto, Lotho, which is another great CH card. We're also playing Kinnan because we have a bunch of rocks and ramp creatures, and so potentially, and with the Cryptolith right as well, potentially can make a bunch more mana to go really big with the Thrasios. Signet the Classic, Monologue Tax because I'm playing Smothering Tithe as well. Ranger Captain of Eos, and I'm playing the big Ranger of Eos to help us go and search for our Trackhand Trainer, to then mean that I can search for a creature to find Training Grounds, which is really strong. And I've been able to do that in the last couple of test matches. I have a Midnight Clock because I'm also playing Rusko. So I'll talk about that when we get to Rusko. We have Oracle of the Alpha. Look, if I'm already making a Mox Jet, why not shuffle the entire Power 9 into my deck? And we get to play Oracle of the Alpha. This is a really fun card. Rhystic Study. Now, Fear of Ridicule is also an insane card that I feel like is really underloved. I've only ever seen me play it. Basically, whenever Fear of Ridicule connects with your opponent, you exile a random creature card from that player's library, create a token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 1/1 enchantment creature. And so if you hit something that's, because it's random, if you hit something that's really big and expensive, or you hit something that has an ETB effect, this happens immediately in the damage step, which is really cool. We've got Derevi, which is really strong. And actually, I'm going to get rid of the Cryptolith, right? I'm going to put in the 1 ring, because I think I forgot to put in the 1 ring. I did. Excuse me momentarily. the One Ring. Get a sneak peek at my collection here. There we go. Okay, as we were. And the reason why Derevi's in the deck, because it can combo with the One Ring to tap and draw a whole bunch of stuff. And then I forgot to put the One Ring in. Day of Judgment, we're also playing Supreme Verdict. Here's the Ranger, Smothering Tithe. Davriel, which is also a really cool card, where basically you draft an emblem. If it comes up, I'll explain it more, but you draft an emblem, and some of them are pretty crazy. One of the options is whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life, just like Sheoldred, which is pretty good. But also he's got a couple of good removal modes on it, so it's kind of a sick card. Here's Rusko. So when you play Rusko, you get a Midnight Clock. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put an hour counter on each permanent you control named Midnight Clock, and then each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. He's kind of like Solemn Simulacrum, but like way better. He gets you the Midnight Clock, and then potentially when the Midnight Clock pops off, I get to draw lots of cards, which is going to help me combo out. We've got Binding of the Old Gods, which is just removal and ramp. Culling Ritual, which is just removal and ramp. We've got Queso. Everyone get ready. And if I'm drawing a million cards, Ketza, Augur of Agonies, will kill my opponents, hopefully. We have Nashi, and also an amazing arena card, which basically says it's Mega Snapcaster Mage. So it enters the battlefield. I choose a card in my graveyard. My opponent doesn't know what card it is. Also, it's secret. That card gets put into my hand, but like a copy of it, and it gains flash. So I can Nashi to cast Supreme Verdict at instant speed, which is kind of crazy. So I opted for that over Snapcaster Mage because it's a bit stronger. Aether Flux Reservoir, which is to help comboing off with Bolas' Citadel, the One Ring. Sun Titan, which is surprisingly good, because if you're holding Sun Titan and one of your commanders dies, you just let it go to the bin, you Sun Titan, and you bring it back rather than casting it from the command zone for 2 extra. Lurker in the Deep is another fantastic arena card that I think is underloved. It's got Impending, and basically, whenever it enters or attacks, it pulls a card out of your deck, puts it into your hand, and then makes a copy of that card manifested face down. So if it hits a creature, you're going to have something that you can turn face up for value. Otherwise, it's just putting a card into your hand and making a blocker. Unlike regular manifests, where if you have to manifest something that is not a creature and it's actually something you really need, it either goes in the bin or it becomes a thing that you don't have access to and will go to the bin later. This puts that thing into your hand, so you at least can, like if I hit a Swords to Plowshares, I can still cast a Swords to Plowshares, and I have a creature blocker as well. It's really strong. We have Mind's Desire. Pretty much everything on the top end is just like really greedy. Mind's Desire to go crazy. River's Rebuke for the one-sided border wipe. Already playing Cyclonic Rift, you might as well play both of them. The Bolas' Citadel. Last March of the Ents, which is another crazy one, where I basically draw a bunch of cards and then play a bunch of creatures for free. This deck isn't super abusing that, so I don't think it's too crazy. Whereas Verdant Rejuvenation is just better. The reason why I'm playing both is they both kind of do the same thing, but Verdant Rejuvenation can't miss, which is the upside. And then we have Mockingbird, because you can copy anything, and it costs 1, so I can search for it with my Rangers. Now, let's get into the action. All of the other deck techs that I had done so far took me way less than 8 minutes, but this deck has a lot more going in it, I think. A lot of the other decks is kind of just like, yes, here is my card draw, here is my creatures that attack, here is my combo pieces. But I won the last 2 games, so I'm feeling hot. And then the last 2 videos that I recorded of me showing off Brawl gameplay, I got wrecked. So I'm hoping for not that. I'm hoping for something a bit more fortunate. Most of the gameplay is kind of playing ramp, like any kind of ramp. I'm not actually playing like any cultivate type effects, so I just kind of need to hit all the lands and then kind of just play Thrasios. Alright, we're playing mono black. Could be aggro? Okay, we're holding a Veto and a Ranger of Eos, which is pretty good. We're just going to run out the Deathrite Shaman. I'm going to say hello to my opponent, and then I'll show him the emotes that I have. What do I want to slam here? I think I am just getting a Triome. I need a black-white Triome. I'll attack you for 1. I know leaving this open means that I can Dovin's Veto, but he's just going to play his commander, so I'm not worried. Okay. Brother has a zombie. Do I let him get in with the zombie? Probably. I think that's fine. I'd rather Manafix here. So you can't auto-cast using Deathrite Shaman because it's not a mana ability. But I'm going to cast Rhystic Study. I'm going to go and pat my cat. It's meowing at me. Let's make you blue. There we go. Surely that's better. Yeah, look, love hearts and everything. Great. Immersive gameplay. Okay, that's fine. Will I draw a card? No, that's okay. I can slam Lurker in the deep here, which is pretty good. That's fine. Take a hit from the Marionette Apprentice, that's fine. Didn't hit a land, but I can counter a creature. What do I want to do then? Or I slam the Ranger of Eos, but the problem is I'm still missing a land in that case. I think playing the Lurker is better here. I was kind of hoping that the Rhystic Study would draw me into a land. Ooh, Voice of Victory. Okay. Interesting. Ideally, I rip an untapped lander and I slam Ranger of Eos. He plays Plaguecraft. I get to draw a card. Sick. I really can't lose my Deathrite Shaman. Unfortunately. Yes, I'll draw a card. Eaten alive. So, I hit my land at least. I'm not doing too terribly. Mox Amber is a little unfortunate. I think I just get basic Forest here. So I can play Ranger of Eos. And then I will go and get... Use Mockingbird the choice here? What am I even copying? Plaguecrafter? Probably not. Marionette. You control. No, if it was Blood Artist, maybe. I'm just gonna get the Trackhand Trainer. So I don't have to discard. I'm gonna play the Mox Amber. When the Lurker and the Deep turns on, I'll have a pretty good blocker. But bro's playing a lot of removal. Veto hurts a little bit. He doesn't have any life gain right now. I will draw a card. You may thought sees any of my 3 counterspells I refuse to use. Sure. Do I take 5 here? I think I block. I think my plan is to play Thrasios. I need some kind of, you know, life action. We hit Training Grounds. That's interesting. That's fine. Now I just need to block. I have 2 things with 3 toughness, which can potentially block. Shoulder, it hurts. Yeah, okay. I would like to hit removal. Let's block. I take 1, and then I take 2 from this. And I'm going to take 2 when he draws, which is not great either. So we hit the draw step. We hit a land, which is nice. I don't have any removal. Unfortunately. Well, let's hit it for 1. Scry bottom. Hit a counterspell. I'm just gonna die to Sheoldred. I really needed to hit something good there. So I drew all counterspells and just like not really any opportunity to use them effectively, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, missing land drops is kind of what killed me. I definitely foreshadowed it also by saying, hey, we don't play any ramp in this deck. It's never been a problem until now when I turn the camera on, which is kind of cringe. Unfortunately. Alright, we're playing against Jetmir, which is a big creatures beats deck. This is a pretty good opener, actually. Culling Ritual could pop off if he plays a lot of weenies. And then I have the Sheoldred, a thing that gains life. Would have been great last game. Yeah, his goal is to get 7 creatures in play, 9 creatures in play. Snap keep. So I'm assuming there's a lot of weenies in the deck. In which case, Culling Ritual could pop off. Culling Ritual kills Thrasios, unfortunately, so I'd have to cast Thrasios afterwards to then sink all the mana into him. I guess depending on how big it is. Isn't that bad. My opponent is asleep. There we go. I feel like I would rather slam Watergrave, Deathrite Shaman. Yeah. Here's the last march of the Ents again. And Sheoldred has 5 toughness, which is pretty good for it. Interesting. Plays a Racketeer boss. This makes treasures. Just not immediately. I don't think it's that big of a problem for me. Ideally, I go Marshflats gets a white-green. No, gets a white-black land. Yeah. And then I play Midnight Clock. Gets a Godless Shrine. Then you make a mana. And I play Midnight Clock, a thing that is not going to get destroyed by the Culling Ritual, whereas Deathrite Shaman is. I'm assuming he gets 3 creatures down this turn. 2 of them will make treasure, so if they cost 1, they basically cost 0. He missed a land drop though. Oh, interesting. Okay, my opponent's doing really bad. Do I still slam Culling Ritual here? Binding of the Old Gods? Maybe this is better. Kill the Racketeer boss. Because now I'm missing a land drop as well, but I will have one tapped next turn at least. Unless if I draw one off the top. I should be okay. My opponent is further behind than I am. Okay, he's Pride Sovereign. Oh, is it a cat tribal deck? Ah, it's a cat tribal deck. That makes more sense. Okay, so my opponent is based. I didn't see that coming. Okay, give me a Clock Trigger, Binding of the Old Gods. Lotho is a great card, but also I don't think Lotho is ever going to trigger on my opponent casting spells. So what do I want to do here? Do I just go... Lotho's a bit color greedy. Maybe I just slam Sheoldred. What are the odds that I can Culling Ritual into Last March of the Ents? 1, 2, 3. Doesn't even pay for itself quite yet. I was expecting my opponent would go a bit bigger. But I'm on 15. Sheoldred should mitigate some of this, and if Midnight Clock pops, then I should win on that turn, probably. No land? This is what happens when you don't play 40. You see 2 land in 20 cards. So I just always play 40, even though literally no EDH deck list plays 40 lands. Collector's Cage. Okay. It's a cat. He needs a third creature. That's not so hard, I think. Yeah, with the land it would be a lot easier. We have Fairy Mastermind. It's unlikely my opponent's drawing extra cards. My binding goes away. I could slam Tymna. I could play Tymna and Lotho. No. Yeah, I'm kind of... Basic Forest sucks. I can play Tymna and Fairy Mastermind. Maybe that's the vibe. If I attack with Sheoldred, what are the odds? We got a double block here. Actually, I swing with everything because Death Shaman doesn't make mana anyway and he has Death Touch, so he trades up for value. Why do I not have priority? Before moving to combat, Burr has an option to put a plus on counter on a thing. He's not going to do that. He's not going to block. He's got plenty of life. Cool. Tymna trigger. I draw a card. Be a land. It is a land. Tymna and Sheoldred are kind of gas. Surveyor 1 sees land on top. I think that's fine. Do I play Voice of Victory? Or do I play Fairy Mastermind? Let's just play Voice of Victory. Then I don't have to click pass priority 1,000 times. While my opponent does nothing. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I can slam Last March with the Ents. And that gives me Lotho and Fairy Mastermind. And then 5 other cards that might include creatures. Should be Backbreaker. I assume my opponent concedes just because they've never seen a third land. Based. Shout out Popsiclex. He's gonna do something? No. Is Bro gonna let me play it out for the VOD? Okay, so I need to hit untapped land, so I just get island. So I'm not taking too much damage, but it should be fine. I'm about to draw a million with Sheoldred anyway. So then maybe I don't need double black. I need not green, blue, white. Is maybe the choice. Gives you life. Death Shaman is going to make a mana. It will be green. Is this where we learn I can't count to 8? Sick, I can count to 8. Alright, let's draw 5 cards. None of them are creatures. Very underwhelming. But I gained some life at least. So, what are the odds that my opponent blocks Sheoldred? I just need to hit for 1 to draw a card with Tymna, which is the thing that I care about. But I found where all my lands are. Ah, but also my culling ritual goes kind of big here, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can actually pop this if he makes this a 4. That's not terrible. But he's going to block with a Sheoldred. How much isn't he taking 4 otherwise? Yeah, okay. He respects the Tymna draw. I guess. I don't know, killing Sheoldred is pretty good. Alright, now what? Bro hits land, surely? Surely hits land? Damn, dude, what the hell? There's no way you're playing 40 lands in that case. You gotta be playing like 20 lands. That's cooked. Yup. I just take it. And a 19. So we've got Midnight Clock on 10 now. We hit the Fear of Ridicule, which is pretty good. Oh, I have some options. I mean, playing Smothering Tithe would be really rude here. Yeah, let's blow it. Is there a land I can eat with the Deathrite Shaman? No. I'm gonna blow them all up. Goodbye, Lotho. Goodbye, Fairy Mastermind. It's been nice knowing you. Why didn't you spend the treasure on this? Can I hold priority real quick? Why didn't you fucking spend the treasure? Ah! Yeah, I choose 2 cards in my graveyard. I'm just gonna float a black. Resolve. Choose 2 cards. Sheoldred. I don't think it really matters. Resolve. I blow up some stuff. I make a bunch of mana. I then play Fear of Ridicule. Strange. Oh, so I have full control left on. And play my commander. So I'm going to attack with Tymna because it will let me draw a card. And if he blocks, then that's very good for me. So we'll take that. I have Mana Drain open. I think if I cast Mana Drain, my opponent will arrive at my house and kill me. So we're not going to do that. Would just be bullying of the highest order. Yeah, let me have a treasure. He plays the Swiftfoot Boots. I'm not going to Mana Drain that. In fact, I'm going to activate Midnight Clock in response. So I shuffle my hand and graveyard in my library and then draw 7 cards. Which were also not great. We hit Sheoldred again. That's kind of sick. What if I just did nothing? What the hell? 1, 2. I can activate Thrasios twice. Is that worthy? Probably. Surely playing Tymna is probably better. Alright, what do we get? We got a cat. We got a fucking Ocelot Pride? How do I gain a life right now? We play Sheoldred. And then we cycle the Zagoth Triome. Sick. Sheoldred draws me... Sorry, gains me 2 life. We'll just play Mum because we have mana left over. We go to end step. Ocelot Pride makes an Ocelot Pride. I had to do it. We had to make it happen. And then now this attack is lethal, I think. 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. Sick. Play Kinnan. What does Kinnan do for me here? Not a lot. Derevi. That's fine. Let's play the Prof. It draws me a card. I can draw another card. So just put counters on something with the Prof. I think it's slightly more value. And I'll play Rhystic Study just because I can. I'm going to put all the counters on Sheoldred. We're then going to swing with everything. I probably could have given Sheoldred Pro Green so that it couldn't be blocked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But then he dies to the draw step trigger anyway. Oh, I got a treasure token! Sick. I love that for me. Alright, that obviously dragged on longer than it probably should have. But I decided to only make funny choices, which I think were arguably correct at the time. We're going to run one more. Hopefully, because we're 1-1, hopefully we see a more evenly matched third game. Against Ajani. Okay, this is surely an aggro deck. I should... Kinnan, opener? Pretty good. Okay, I see a line, which is Command Tower into Halfling. into Kinnan, and then I Delta for Tapland. My opponent's going first. So maybe he kills the Halfling? I should be fine. Either way, I'm slamming an early Oracle of the Alpha, which is pretty good. Pro plays a Johnny, that's fine.
May our axes strike as one.
Sure. Good, great. I'm happy to hear it. I need a black. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna play Kinnan. So, Kinnan is much more of a threat here than the Halfling. If he attacks, I let it happen. Yeah, I'm just slamming Oracle the Alpha. Fear of Ridicule is interesting because I always want to have an enchantment creature down already, and I kind of rarely do. I can play the Hedge Maze, slam Oracle the Alpha maybe. I'm also unsure how much removal my opponent is playing. Killing Kinnan is the correct choice. If he kills the Halfling as well, I slam Oracle. Fear of Ridicule is like an army in a can, is the kind of the whole idea, but it kind of dies to removal. Bro is thinking. Jesus. Yep, we'll take it. Interesting. Bro bolts his own cat to flip his Ajani. So he's gonna have a cat. He doesn't have a red permanent though. Spectacle of Destruction is pretty good here. Let's play Oracle. We've got the power 9 in the deck. We're not attacking. We can attack Ajani. He doesn't have any blockers if he doesn't kill the bird. But Tymna does not trigger on attacking a Planeswalker. And maybe I want to draw cards because I want to guarantee that I hit those land drops. Or I play Spectacle of Destruction if he hasn't killed anything. Which is maybe the way to go. Okay, this eats the bird. But I keep my Halfling. And then what? I go Thrasios Spectacle? He still doesn't have a red permanent. Okay, we hit an untapped land. Does that change what I want to do? Well, it doesn't make black. I'll bin the Deathratch Shaman. Let's play this. And then see how we go. I'm assuming he's going to kill it, which is fine. It's all about this. Yeah, that's pretty good. This one doesn't have anything black. Sorry, red. I will also need to find a board wipe soon, because this will get out of control pretty quickly. I don't think you can kill Tidus with the 1 mana, because he's already played Lightning Bolts. Do I block here? I think I block here. Because I want the Spectacle trigger. If he's just going to blow up my guy anyway, we hit a Birds of Paradise and a Voice of Victory. Shit. Okay, I think let's play all of them. It cost me 2 life, unfortunately. Oh, I'm so stupid. No! This does not make white, because this is not legendary. Crap. You can destroy an enchantment. He's going to destroy the Spectacle, not the Fear of Ridicule. I guess he has blockers. So that's fine. Still no red permanent, but he gets to draw a card. Pretty cool mountain art. Bro's a high roller if he's got all these fancy versions of things. Alright, Ranger Captain of Eos. Interesting. So he can block the Fear of Ridicule. I don't have any way of stopping that. Okay. play the Ranger Captain of Eos. We do have the Birds of Paradise. So we're gonna go and get Trackhand Trainer. We're gonna play Trackhand Trainer. And then we're gonna pass. Cool. No attacks. End turn. Because I can make a Training Grounds at instant speed, I don't need to do it in a hurry. And also if I reanimate the Trackhand Trainer, then I can make another Training Grounds. Not a thing that happens very often, but there is a line where Sun Titan brings it back and I make another Training Grounds. But Training Grounds really only matters for Thrasios. It's not like a thing I'm super angling for. That's fine. This guy is not that good if you have blockers. He needs to connect. Alright, bro still has not played a red permanent. I think if that happens, my commander dies, like, right away.
Let fury ignite your heart.
Okay. Draws a card. These are all great cards. Bro's got way more card draw than me, which is not my favorite, but... I want to activate this in end step after I've made a Training Grounds, but I can only do that after he's attacked, basically. He's thinking about it, alright. Cool, so starting with this. Mega Training Grounds. Then we can Thrasios. What do we got? We hit a land. Let's put the land into play. Okay. River's Rebuke is huge here. We just send it immediately. He's tapped out. He can't stop me, really. Yeah. You may scry 1. Put it away. Put it all away. Brother, what are you doing? Okay. So I get a 3/3 Spirit. That's fine. I can cast Voice of Victory. I'll rumble in with the boys. I'm then gonna your upkeep Ranger Captain of Eosu. So I think that might be kind of backbreaking. I will shock this in. I will play Voice of Victory. End turn. Upkeep. Activate. Cool. He's done his job. He got me Training Grounds, and my opponent can only play creatures now, so he's probably going to play Ajani and Skyclave Apparition, is my guess. What does Skyclave hit? Voice of Victory? Probably not. Or unless if he goes Enduring... What is it? Ideal? Enduring Innocence and Ajani. Okay, plays Lauren. Interesting. It's probably the right choice. I think getting rid of Training Grounds is kind of a big deal. And then plays Ajani. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to slam Last March of the Ants for 3 cards. Or I play Cecil. I think Cecil is a better choice. Yeah, okay. Let's play that. And then I play this. And then I play this. And then we go to attacks with everything to guarantee that we connect. Because I don't really care if Titus dies here. He looks so funny next to everyone else. Like this one, because it has the white background, it has a pseudo border. This guy's just standing there. He's just chilling. He's just chilling, just hanging out. It's just kind of funny. Okay, we got the connect. We're gonna have a Tymna trigger. Cool. I have counterspell. Doesn't mean anything. That's fine. Alright, now what? What does my opponent do? He's gonna draw a bunch of cards, probably. No, I feel like that's wrong. I feel like Skyclave, Apparition, and something else. He still doesn't have anything red, which is interesting. Damn, shorty. Yeah, okay. That was definitely the correct choice. Now he has a cat. Yeah, okay. I can play Arcane Signet and Tidus and keep up Counterspell mana. Yeah. Cool. Let's do that then. Because if you play something red, I'll Counterspell it. I think is what's important. And then I play Last March of the Ents for 3. It's not great. Do I let this resolve? Yes. Because if he plays Skyclave, I want to counter that instead. I don't mind if he draws cards here. Sundown Pass? Yeah, okay. Well, Lightning Helix, yeah, we're going to say no to that. Keep my guy alive so that he can block the cat. Then he plays Mazemind Tome. Yeah, okay. Cool. I don't think we're out of this yet. Farewell hurts a lot. Unfortunately, Restick Study. I can play both. If I play Restick Study, he will Skyclave the Restick Study immediately. I think I just gamble on Last March of the Ents. Draw 3 cards. Hit a creature amongst them. I can Time Twist the next turn. Do I have 4? I have 2. It's not gonna get me the Mox Jet. But I hit Time Twister, which is really interesting. Because Time Twister might make me come alive. I have a lot of land down. So I would have 5, 6 to then play with. He has an Elspeth. So I need to find a board wipe. Oh, I'm just dead? Okay, well, I can't predict that. That's unfortunate. Good game. I was kind of gambling on Last March of the Ents hitting something good. It did not. Unfortunately. Farewell, man. That card is strong. Well, that was Tymna Thrasios. It's a really fun deck to play, actually. And I am kind of really enjoying playing Brawl because there's a lot of arena-only cards that are really interesting and do kind of cool stuff that's like really hard to play in real life. And so I've been kind of enjoying it. And I have been enjoying making a lot more Magic the Gathering content now. I'm playing the game more regularly. So if that is something you are excited to be watching, stick around, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and there's going to be more coming. I got a lot more cooking that we can check out soon. Hopefully.